right, welcome back, everybody. As we're coming back from that short little break, if you're just tuning in, you just missed some great action coming in from No Idea versus Birds. Definitely go back in the past broadcast and check that out because it was just jump packed, nothing but action going in to the third map. And those first two maps going to the third cash house, it was just neck to neck all around. And we're going to be going into the next map. If you could remind us, Stars, who are we going to be watching?
Our next match coming up, hot off the spot, is going to be Holtows Finest, our Qualifier 2 champions, going against NoName, one of our top EU teams. And I gotta say, watching Split 2 compared to Split 1, watching EU just completely dominate. Obviously, we had like a North America versus North America grand final in the Split 1 Masters, but like just watching that, where it's like it was like 6 EU teams versus like 2 North American teams, and watching Split 2, watching North America come out of nowhere and just like dominate the scoreboards, it's crazy to watch. It's great to see good competition between these teams.
Exactly. It's great to see good competition, and it's great to see new faces as well.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure, but it could have just been a name change where we were seeing No Idea having acoustic and the other player, but those are players that I definitely am not familiar with. Again, unless if they changed their names, which they maybe might have. So it's great
Mhm.
to see new players coming in, just rising stars coming out of left field and still getting the game and being on top of the competition.
Yeah, and it's definitely great to watch here, as it looks like we do have our map bands in coming out for
Ooh.
our next match. And oh man, it's gonna be a repeating trend here, bro. Bro, can we please see at least one game assist Horizon, please? I beg you. I just want to see one.
Oh no, Sis Horizon, the map that we all love and want to see being banned. Unfortunately, by Holtows Finest, and so actually being banned as well. So it's a map that we haven't seen yet today. So being banned again is very unfortunate. We're not going to be able to see that. We're going to be going back to the other three maps. The same maps, Vegas, Skyway, and Monaco. But this time we ended with Vegas, but we're going to be starting with Vegas this time around, as it looks like NoName is going to be getting the first pick. And if you can remind the viewers at home, Stars, I believe this is an NA versus EU matchup yet again, right?
Yeah, so we have Holtows Finest, our one of our North American rising stars. I'm not going to say superstar quite yet, but they are one of our North
Oh,
American rising stars going against NoName, who has been one of our more dominant EU teams as well here in our series. So it's going to be a really, really great matchup. And just a friendly reminder, just remember that since we are playing interregional, our first map, since Holtows Finest is our higher seed in this matchup, we'll be taking it to North America first for our server. Game 2, once again, we'll be back on EU, and then we'll be going back to NA for map number 3. And the great funny thing is like, whenever we see NA to EU, it's not a crazy amount of ping difference, but we allow this if EU players come to North American servers and they connect to the Western servers. We're like, hey, that's completely fine if you want to restart the map until we get on the NA servers. Obviously, the players know how the game feels and how the ping feels. They always test it out before. It's always cool to see too, because they're all, before they play, they always test out, hey, is this bug in the play? You know, is this bug in play? Right? Because there are some bugs that this game does have that which are being worked on. So it's always cool to see that the players, like at the start of the match, say like, okay, do we have this bug? No. Okay, let's play. Let's ride. So it's really cool to see that.
yeah, so it just sounds like overall some great sportsmanship coming in from both sides, just making sure that if they're going to compete, they're both going to be in as equal as it can be, as an equal playing field as it can be, which is great. What you want to see as a viewer or as a caster. You definitely want to see these six players, although they're going to be battling it out, they're definitely going to battle out. It's great to see them kind of just working together, making sure that they're not experiencing these bugs, because obviously if it were happening to them, they would want that map restart. So it's great to see that.
Yeah, but we're going back to Las Vegas here, and I'm just gonna say, bro, I haven't seen Sandstorm in 89 years. Can I please see one
89
Sandstorm?
years.
Can I see one Sandstorm, please? The
We
one
might
time
be able to.
the one time we got Sandstorm last qualifier, there was a bug. There was a reload bug, so we had to leave, and we didn't
You
get
had
it.
to restart the map, and then it
Yeah,
ended up being something else.
yeah. I
No.
think we got standard issue, but yeah,
Uh,
it's
well, I mean, I think the universe is in our favor today, Stars. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we might be able to see that. I mean, we'll see. Now, I got a question for you, Stars.
Mhm.
As me, as someone that maybe hasn't been tuning into these tournaments, and maybe this might, for a lot of people, this might be their first time watching this. Um, who are the players to look out for, and who do you think has the advantage here for this series?
Looking in the series, bro, honestly, like you have to take a look out for Brendy. Brendy has been a really, really good player on Holtows Finest. He's really led that team in like how they want to play their game style. It's really, really cool to see. It and honestly on No Name, like I think they have a new player right now.
Oh.
I'm not seeing someone like for example Robinski is probably their new player. But yeah, Noah X and Natelko, like them together are really good, but Noah X definitely carrying. I'm not gonna say carry because like it's not fair to all the players on the team, but like he was definitely a standout player on No Name.
A standout player. Okay, and that's good to know. And that new player that you mentioned, do you know if he's just a substitute or is he actually the replacement?
I think I'm not sure if he is a sub or actual replacement, but for right now, let's just go with substitute. It
Okay.
is the first time I am gonna be seeing him play today, unless they just change their start.gg name and like, hey, I feel like we're going by Robin from now on, so you respect me.
Yeah, then maybe they just changed their names. You know that happens quite a lot in today's world for sure, where a lot of people
Mhm,
like to change their whole identity, especially online, which is kind of
mhm.
like a fresh restart for sure. It's kind of like a how do you say this? A breath of fresh air for sure. So
Yeah.
maybe because a lot of the time what ends up happening is you have your whole persona, you have your whole reputation that kind of just follows you, and you just kind of need that reset, and that mental reset is sometimes all you need to go from a like a just a normal player to like all of a sudden, like you said, a rising star. And that's what I'm expected to see here.
Mhm,
I'm expecting to see a lot of rising stars, a lot of names that I haven't seen yet just
mhm.
come out of nowhere, coming up with these strats. Now, do you think in Vegas we're gonna see six shotguns again?
I'm gonna be honest. I think we are.
No.
I think we are. It's one of those things where it's like it's a close quarters map. Unfortunately, like you're literally peeking. It's like Rainbow Six Siege. You're peeking from one room. We're going back in. Peeking from one room, going back in. It's like, and then you obviously you're gonna hop on top of the dome, and then you're just gonna like jump pad, just take a close quarters fight. It's just one of those things where unfortunately, because of how the map plays, I think we are going to see a
Mhm.
lot of shotguns here. And I do want to make a correction here. We are going to EU first. No Name is actually higher seeded than Holto's finest tier. So we will be going EU, then NA, then back to EU for the last map.
Got it. So that's a little bit of a mix up from last series, as it was opposite. It was North America first map and then EU and then North America. And what ended up happening was the North American team winning. Now, this is going to be, it's going to be very interesting to see if EU ends up winning this one, because it could just come down to a slight advantage. And that's sometimes all you need. You might not even feel that advantage in game, but it's all about the mental, as I was saying earlier, like the same thing as changing your name. It's just that mental that gives you the confidence to maybe make that aggressive play that you wouldn't had before. So I would love to see this EU team take it home in first map.
Yeah, we are waiting on one team to hop in. So we're just so as we're waiting here, Elvin, from your experience competing in our series, like how was it like Ash? How did it actually feel like watching you and Scallywags find really good success playing was really fun to watch. Like how was your experience and how did like how that knowledge and experience impact your gameplay like outside of the tournaments as well?
See, I think when it okay, what ended up happening with Scallywags, as Star said, I did compete in the first in two qualifiers, I believe. Um, I think when you're in the game, when you're in the zone, literally it's like everything else around you just suddenly just disappears, and it's just you and the game and your teammates and your voice comms, and it's just all just going back. So when you're a competitor, it's very important to control those emotions. If you're feeling nervous, you definitely got to be taking those breaths, and that is something that I learned early on competing in games and competing
Hmm.
in the finals as well. It's always taking a breath, right? If it's a 1v1 and you're like, oh man, what do I do?
Hmm.
Relax, take a breath. and then go for that fight. And I think that's what we were able to find that success, as all my other two teammates were also able to do that as well. But oh my lord, now that you brought it up, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a sad story, Stars. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a sad story. In the last qualifier that I played, it was in 3v3, 20 seconds, like 10, 15 seconds left on the cash out.
Mhm.
And oh my lord, we had the cash out, and all of a sudden the enemy team starts taking it. We kill everyone, and it's just a heavy defending the cash out, and then the medium stealing it, right? Just a classic heavy holding the shield. You see it all the time. I go to try to stop it. I hit all of my shots. I ran out of bullets. The guy
Oh,
stealing it was
no.
1 health. And because I was playing a different game,
Mhm.
instead of meleeing, I ended up pulling up the scoreboard, and we lost. We lost the cash.
Oh,
And that's what
no.
happens when you play different games. If you're not
Mhm.
being consistent, sometimes you do forget those binds, because my bindings for the other game that I was playing prior was just
Mhm.
completely different. So I thought I was meleeing the person, but I ended up pulling up the scoreboard and we lost. And then those are the little things that actually matter in a tournament, where those very important situations turn into a nerve-wracking half a second. And if you don't have your stuff together, then it can just all fall apart essentially.
Okay, and that's really great. That's something really great that I'm glad you learned from. As it looks like we do have our map ready. You're going to Las Vegas. Do we get Sandstorm? Do we get Stormy Day? Let's find out on the next episode of the Finals Masters Series. Let's go, baby. We're gonna have NoName going against Holtows finest. Let's see how everything's gonna scrap out.
And here we go. I see some familiar names here on Holtows Finest. It's that Lamp that I saw. I think that is Lamp. If you guys
Oh
don't know
yeah,
Lamp,
it is, yeah.
yeah, he started competing very early on in the finals, and he actually was known as one of the best heavies during his time for sure. As he's playing with Green Space and Brandy, two players again. They could just have their name changed, or maybe that's who they are, but these are two players that I haven't seen yet, so it's going to be very interesting to see that gameplay, as they're going to be touching the vault already, and NoName here. They're going to have that height advantage. They're going to be looking for the fight here, or better yet, they're going to just be waiting for Hato's Finest to make the move, and they're just going to go straight for it as they are making their move. Hato's Finest going straight to B, and damage is going to be done here, as they're going to be playing aggressive. And there's that beautiful audio that we were missing. And look at that, we got an AKM, and the AKM is going to be getting that first blood.
Oh my gosh, the assault rifles are out as they are completely shredding Holtows finest, as no FPS. Robinski and Atelka are gonna be able to get this first steal here.
Playing beautifully. They were playing high, and they were just kind of waiting for Hotel's Finest to kind of make a move. And because of that, they were able to catch them by surprise. Now, the question is, are they going to be able to hold it down? Now, we saw last time we saw Vegas being played, we saw the team playing on hallway, kind of just waiting it out. But it looks like NoName just kind of has a different strategy, as they're going to be taking the elevator height, and they're going to be looking down. They know exactly where Hotel's Finest are as well. So they're in a very great position here to secure this cash out.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it's really, really cool to see this, as we're gonna go ahead and see Holtows finest setting up in that hallway we were talking about earlier, or Telco setting up in kitchen prep, outside of kitchen prep, actually, in this hallway. So I think they know what's going on. They had the glitch barrel in hand, waiting for everything to go. And I gotta say, I was actually correct. Robinski is new on the team, as they are to go ahead and hop onto Holtows finest, getting an easy team wipe. Bro, what is going on, Holtows? Get it together. Y'all are the Qualifier 2 champions. What is going on?
What is going on? Maybe Robinski is the change that NoName needed. Getting two big picks, positioning himself correctly, not even taking a lick of damage at that as well. Just being able to rain down those shocking shots. very safely. And just like that, there's not gonna be enough time. I think this is it. I think NoName has won this. It's gonna be very hard to see Holto being able to take this down. And even if they go there, there's just at this point, they're just fighting just to fight.
Oh yeah,
They're-
let me have to tap there. Yeah, it's over.
it's definitely over. This fight is pretty meaningless. I guess you can say whoever wins this fight is going to have control of the vote. But I think for Holtows Finest, it's a very important fight for the mental. If they're able to win this, maybe this can portray what the future will hold. But the future is not in their favor, Stars. The future is saying that NoName is still in control.
Bro, I don't know where you picked the Robinski from. I don't know where you got him from. But God bless anyone that has to go against him right now.
Yeah, can you actually pull up the scoreboard? Is that something that we can see?
Oh yeah, if you want to see the scoreboard, here we go.
I want to see Robinski's
oh
stats
no,
here.
Holtows, no.
Yeah, only Brandy being able to find success with a kill. Green Space not being able to do much damage as well. And I mean, the scoreboard speaks volumes. It clearly shows how Holtows Finest are just not able to position themselves correctly to even do enough damage to get a kill.
Yeah, and I do have to say, as it looks like there's gonna be a fight on top of Dome here. Never mind, NoName said, no, I'm not trying to fight y'all right now. We're just gonna go ahead and do this rotate on, you know? And I gotta say, it's really interesting to see because normally you would see close quarters combat coming out here for teams with the shotguns. But it's cool to see that Robinski, Atelko, and Noah on NoName are just like, they're like, hey, we're gonna play long range. We're not gonna push into you. We're gonna make you push into us. We're gonna get our chip damage in, and we're gonna make you have to play at a disadvantage. It was really cool to see a different take on how to play Las Vegas.
Exactly, and that's why I think having an assault rifle can really be very beneficial. At least having one long range gun, because as you saw, we thought we were going to see a fight on the on top of the bridge, but because Holtows Finest, I believe they're running 3 shotguns, they just can't really do anything. So NoName was just able to run away, but now Holtows Finest is on the chase right now as they're trying to get some early picks here, but they got to be very careful right now. Because NoName, they still have this advantage. They still have the RPG out. And they're all kind of grouped up together. And it looks like they might be able to single out somebody as the RPG is going to be successful.
Grappling hook!
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh! Yo,
I just noticed that. You're right. He's running a grappling hook. That is very interesting to see. But Lab, he's trying his best to stay alive, trying his best to get some kills, but it's not looking good. He doesn't have any more mediums to be able to get his health back.
No, not the emote.
Oh, and a little bit
Not
of
the emo.
shooting the floor as well. This is looking like straight domination coming in from NoName. It's very interesting to see, like, as you said earlier, Holtows Finest was our winner from our last weekly qualifier number 2. And for them to come in map number 1 and looks like they might get 2-0'd, it is very surprising to see. Maybe they still need to warm up. They gotta be really fast though, because they don't have much time to work with, and the RPG is gonna be successful. And I think Green Space is gonna go for it. I think this is his only play. He needs to get rid of those green barrels, but not gonna be able to do it in time, as NoName is gonna be once again. And wow, how long was that map? That felt like it was 5 minutes.
That was really short. They just hopped in. They hopped on the train and say, "Hey, we're just gonna roll over everyone that's on the trucks."
No, actually, they were the train the little train that could. They literally just got on board and did not stop just going on track. They just
Bro, I have
completely won every
not
fight.
heard that book name since I was in elementary school, dog. Yeah. Oh wow, not able to even get more than 3 kills with steamrollers. You've got steamrolled. That is crazy to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna definitely have to see a big shift right now. That was, to be fair, that was EU connection, I believe. So I mean, it does kind of make sense that the EU team does win on their own connection. The only thing is that this North American team, NoName, or sorry, not NoName, but they have to get their stuff together now. They cannot allow that blowout to be in their head. They need to start fresh. They got to talk to each other and say, you know what, whatever happened last game, it never happened. It's in the past. We move forward because we need to win in this next map. And you know what? They're gonna have their map pick and the host advantage. So maybe we'll see a closer game this time around.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really cool to see Robin come out and play. Like, so if you don't know, like NoName, one of our top teams in Split 1, Split 2, they have been struggling quite a bit alongside a lot of our other teams. Like Frog 3 hasn't been as good as they were Split 1. You know, NTHX had a good substitute and a good pickup going into Split number 2, and they're doing a lot better now. Actually, I think they're near the top as well of our split. But like watching NoName, like they're struggling. They either just missed top 4 day 2 on the first 2 qualifiers, or they made it and got first rounded. They've really been struggling. So it's really cool to see, like, with this roster change, like, bro, they're in the upper bracket. And like if you look at how the brackets went for them, like they were dominating even against really good teams and good teams from North America. So it's really cool to see that this new pickup for their team is really impacting their game plan, their gameplay really positively.
Yeah, and that plays volume on how one individual can shift the whole momentum of a team. Like you mentioned, that they didn't find as much success the previous qualifiers, and then all of a sudden, here they are in the upper bracket, about to take the champions of the last qualifier, just like that. Are they going to be able to keep this momentum, though? Are they going to be able to 2-0 them? This is NA connection, so they are going to be at a slight disadvantage. But again, like I said before, I want to see this EU team keep playing aggressive. And I mean, this might not be true, but I'm just gonna say it. I think it was just that assault rifle. It was the AKM. It was the meta change. That's what it was. That's the only reason why they won.
Okay. And it looks like we have everyone in the lobby. We're just waiting for confirmation from the players to say that they are ready. So on top of that, like, I just wanted to go ahead and add in, like, I feel like for Holtows finest to really find success here and win this game, not only do they need to stick together, which they have been doing really well playing together, they need to focus on their target prioritization. Every fight seems like they're fighting someone different, while Holtows finest, or not Holtows finest, NoName is like they're truly focusing people down. Like, if you can't isolate someone, it's better to, like, hey, shoot this guy. If you die, that's fine. We got the damage. We get this kill. We get a clean trade. So I want to say, like, NoName is just, they're trading really well, and it's really impacting their gameplay, and they're doing really well because of it.
And that could come down to just an IGL diff. It could just be whoever is making these play calls. It could just be they might not just be having a good day today, but maybe in the future it would be great to hear some of those comms coming in, because I would be very interested to see and hear how these players are progressing through the map, you know, when they're winning, when they're losing, in the middle of a fight, because we can really see some of these teams evolve over time, especially with their IGLing.
Now, the question is, do we get high rise? Or do we get moving platforms? Let's find out as we hop in to Skyway Stadium. Beautiful scenery here, beautiful map. I think this is the most balanced map, which explains why this map is one of the most played that we have in this series.
I think you might be kind of right about that. It might be one of the most balanced maps in the game, actually. You might be on point on that. And you know what? If it's moving platforms, that's going to be really good for NoName, as they do have an assault rifle player. And that would
standard issue.
I mean, I'm still a big fan of this layout. For sure.
Listen, I love standard issue, but the fact that we got standard issue almost every single map is very upsetting to me, bro. Can we get some special game modes, please?
No, actually, you do bring up a good point. It feels like, for some reason, when we see this map, it's kind of like a repetitive. When we saw this map, we literally saw the vault spawn in the same location 3 times.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty crazy. The chances of that happening are very low. But as we're saying this, it looks like once again.
Oh no! The grappling hook! He said bro, my man was trying to run away. Oh, and they're just stalling out now, stalling for time. Yeah, that way. No, my man said, I'm trying to get away. Bro, my man came over with a scorpion grappling. He's like, get over here. It's just that you're not getting away. You're catching this L right now.
Do you think, because this is our first time, this is my first time ever seeing a grappling hook being used in comp. Do you think that might just be the reason why NoName just seems to be dominating right now? Because they completely are just, they're not following the triple shotgun meta, especially with the mesh shield. Because it's very interesting to see that.
Now I will say, I think it's NTHX Esport. They were in last qualifier in the lower bracket final. They actually ran Riot Shield. They ran all the off-meta items, and they almost eliminated Holtows Finest in the tournament. Like, it was a 2-1 final score. They did end up losing, but they almost won 2-0 if they didn't mess up on a last cash out for them. So essentially, it's really interesting to see a lot of off-meta picks coming here as we see another fight breaking out. Toko going down, Noah X going down. It's going to be a team wipe for Holtows Finest as they are going to go ahead and get cash out B.
And just like that, they're going to finally be able to win a team fight. And that's exactly what you want to see, especially if you're rooting for Holtows Finest, as they're finally going to be able to win that. And you know what? That fight, they played super aggressive. And that's where these shotguns come into fruition. We saw Nox trying his best to do as much damage as possible with the AKM. But unfortunately for him, it just doesn't have that burst damage. He tried his best to do damage. He tried his best to get the rest, but he got blown up right away, and that's going to result into a team wipe for them. But they still have enough time to take over this fight, and they're going to try their best to look for the other team. And it looks like they might have a good idea of where they are, but the time is ticking. They don't have much time left. They still haven't found them. Holtows Finest is doing a good job with just being quiet.
Bro, what is up with teams in this qualifier? Why do y'all wait for the last second, bro? Like, last qualifier, we had like 3 attempts per cash out. Y'all over here with like 1 to 2. What is good with y'all? Can y'all fight each other, please?
Well, I do think it's very smart to just play time. I think what it comes down to
is... They get it? They got it! Wait, NoName? Wait. Okay, yeah. So Holtows Finest got it. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little confused there. I'm waiting on the kill feed, obviously. But I thought for a second there, I thought NoName was about to win that team fight.
It looked like it for sure. It can be a little hard to see, but no, it was definitely I believe Holtows Finest that ended up securing that, and just like that, I think the ties are in their favor. They got to use this momentum to carry over. Are we gonna see a quick 2-0 again? Is this gonna be a quick map? But before that fight broke out, I was gonna bring up the point where maybe it's just the team that's it's not necessarily the team that's defending the cash out. But it's the other team that maybe they're not playing aggressive enough. Maybe they're taking their time, and maybe that's why, because they're taking their time, that's why we're not seeing as many fights as we saw in the last qualifier.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely something that's a good point to bring up, as we are seeing another hot pursuit coming in. We're watching Cops right now, bro. This is literally Cops, bro. One of the old TV shows that they used to play. But yeah, we're gonna be going to the office district here. This is one of the harder cash outs to attack, because one, we have meteor showers going on. I don't know if you see this. This is complete party on the screen right now.
This mayhem.
And then 2, a lot of the time you'll see teams drop this all the way down to the bottom floor once they get that first insert. So right now, I think it's just going to be Holtows Finest looking for an early fight here, as that's exactly what's going to happen. They're trying to get an early fight, eliminate Toko. That is him going down. Another player drops down. He's going to get killed. Noah trying to get the resurrect. He is going to get it, but it's not a good time to do it. Toko's going to get chased down. It's going to be all up to Robin here. Robin, live! Brother! You need to live so that your team gets closer spawns to A. Okay. Anyways. Anyways, that happened. So that's a team wipe.
Yeah, I think Rubinsky just did not want to give up the fight. I think in his mind, he's like, you know what? We can still win this if I get this rest. But unfortunately, he just kind of just padded the enemy's teams. He just padded Hollow's finest stats there. Gonna give him another free kill, just allowing his teammate to just kind of get killed yet again. But not too big of a deal. They still have way more than enough time to maybe get 2, maybe even 3 tries to steal this. Still bright and early here as they're gonna be running around. But the question is, how long are they gonna take? I mean, I'm a big fan of playing aggressive here. I do think that the quicker they take this fight, the more chances they will have in case if they lose. But if they do win the fight and they play very aggressive, then that also allows Holtows finest to come back and maybe make a comeback as well. So it's one of those things of like, what do? Do we just go for the fight now and give ourselves a second chance? Or do we play time and try to win the fight at the very last second so there's no way that the enemy team can come back and steal it from us again? But it looks like they're definitely trying to just keep positioning up right now, as Holtows finest is doing a good job. That glitch barrel might have actually hit all 3 players, but it actually did not do anything, unfortunately. Not gonna be able
I think
to.
It looks like it did. It's just a visual bug.
I see. It was a visual bug.
Wait, yeah, it was a visual bug. Yeah, so it did work on him. So yeah.
And then that was a really good glitch barrel, but no follow-up on that, unfortunately. And time is ticking. This is going to be a one fight and done situation here. And whoever wins this fight is going to win this cash out. So, and just like that, Holtows finest is already down a person, but Nox is almost dead as well, but still staying alive with this kind of his team just barely at 1 health. They did end up getting it. It's going to be NoName making a comeback. And again, this is what I was talking about. Are they going to take their time and fight right away? Or sorry, are they going to take their time and just make this cash out just a one fight? Or are they going to take or are they going to play very aggressive? And they decided to take their time. And just like that, Holtows finest is not going to have enough time to fight. And so they decided to play very passively, and it worked out on their favor.
Yeah, it's looking very good here for NoName. They finally found their stride here. They're like, hey, we're gonna play very slow. We'll bait them into dropping the cash out, which is exactly what happened, and then we'll just play from up top. We'll get our good burst damage, get a free early kill as we have another team fight hopping in right here. We have Holtows finest hopping on. They're gonna go ahead and trade places right here. Noah X is going down. I think right here at this point, you just get with the fight. You just try and play your life here. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. He might be getting chased down here as Brendy and Green Space are gonna go ahead and rotate here. We are gonna still have a fight coming out for Lamp. Never mind. Lamp says, nope, you're kind of cooking me right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that to my team and play around them.
Yeah, no, definitely that's the right call. They don't want to get singled out, especially losing your heavy player.
Actually. Never mind.
Oh, they actually ended up getting the pick.
Yeah, so that's going to be NoName on respawn timer, just coming back in right now here. They're going to start rotating towards D. And are we going to get that same spot? No. We're going to get one of the more easier ones to attack. This one right here is really interesting to watch, just because of the fact that, one, you can only drop it 1 level, and then 2, at the same time, like, it's a more balanced attack. There's multiple ways to attack this. You don't have to worry about it falling off the map at all. There's not really that many setups for it, so relatively, this is going to be a really good fight for NoName as we get into our last cash out of the map.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the Holtows finest is right around the corner right now. Are they going to take the same approach that NoName did and just turn this into a one fight cash out? Or are they going to play very aggressive and give themselves multiple chances to steal this? And it looks like they're just playing high, but it's going to be NoName playing aggressive, actually. And the fight has already started, and trades are happening, and Toko's not looking too good as he's going to get picked. But Lamp is also very low. It's a 1v2 situation, and just like that, it's going to be Holtows finest being able to team wipe. Although it was NoName that was playing very aggressive there. They ended up playing maybe a little too aggressive, as Holtows finest being able to take that dub there.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit ahead of you, Elvin, on terms of the stream. Because 1, I'm spectating, and 2, I keep forgetting to look at the actual VMix side, not the game side. So I'm a little ahead in my casting. I gotta work on that a little bit right now. But we are gonna have another push coming in from NoName. Looks like they're coming in from the market district here. They almost messing up his jump. They're gonna go ahead and jump all the way up to the top here, as we see that Holtows finest is bunked up downstairs. They're gonna go ahead and drop it, cancel that steal, And Lamp and them are just gonna take the space where they were. Running out of time here. They're gonna go ahead and try and steal right now. They are gonna go for it. They don't get it.
Oh my God.
This is not looking good. NoName went down. We are going to a map number 3. Holtows Finest getting a quick team wipe there. I feel like if he held onto it for a little bit longer, they probably do get it.
Yeah, I think at that point, you might as well just stick it, because even if you end up wiping the team, you're not going to have enough time to stick it after the fact. So it's one of those situations where you got to make that hard decision. Do I go for the team fight or do I go for the stick? Because either way, you just have a very low chance of losing or of winning. I'm sorry. And you know what? I think Hotel's Finest did a beautiful job. So if you notice, they were actually playing a floor below the cash out. And as soon as they heard the cash out being stolen, they bring it down the floor and then they go back up and, like you said, retake the space. They retook that height advantage. And I think that ultimately ended up in their success, as we can see the scoreboard here. And what are we looking at here? Let's see who's actually the standout player in your eyes here, looking at the scoreboard.
Oh, I gotta say, it's gotta be the medium player Brendy coming out with a huge combat score. Also, in between on the support score as well here. He was playing really, really well for his team, getting a lot of those early picks, a lot of those trades in the team fights. And he's also really, really good when it came to staying alive for his team as well. He did have one revive for his team as well, so he's definitely helping out in that aspect. On the same side, we also have a Telco, the heavy player on NoName, doing really, really well as well. But at the end of the day, it's not about how many kills, deaths, or assists you get. It's about who can close out that cash out and how you play around your team. That really, really gets you that way.
Exactly. The scoreboard doesn't always tell the full story, unless if the story goes like first map, where unfortunately the NA team literally only had 1 kill. But in this side of things, it was a more evened out map going into the side of the NA team, Holtows Finest again. And this is looking like a repetitive games here, where it might just be a ping advantage. EU team winning on their EU connection, NA team winning on their NA connection. But we're going on EU connection now. Are we finally going to be able to see that break on that status quo? Are we going to be able to see the NA team being able to take home the dub for the 3rd map? I mean, we're definitely gonna be very excited to see. And if you can remind me, is that Monaco that we're gonna be able to see here for that 3rd map?
Yeah, it's going to be Monaco. And let me tell you, Holtows Finest playing on Monaco is a glitch. It's like playing Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl way back in the day, where he's just unstoppable, right? Holtows Finest is a really, really good Monaco team. I don't think I've really seen them lose on Monaco, and if they have, it's very, very minuscule amount of times that it happened. So it's really going to be interesting to see what NoName has planned for them. With their team comp, with the AKM, obviously model 1887, and the other shotgun that they're running on the heavy, it definitely can work a lot better here on Skyway Stadium, just because like there's not a lot of like hidden secret passageways. Because one thing you notice on Skyway Stadium is that a lot of the cash outs that they had on that map, where it came down to closing out, were close range maps. You had the first cash out, which was more open space, where we could see NoName being able to secure that secure that in the office building, right? And then you have that. I'm sorry, that was the second one, but the first one was in the houses, where you're jumping between windows and everything. So seeing that right there is going to be a little bit. Seeing this here, it's going to be a little bit better for them, just because it's going to be more long lines of sight. As we are going to be hopping into Monaco, as I transition into wrong scene. There we go. I meant to play that little 5-2 for us before you go to the map. It's just a little bit more exciting than the map here. But who do you think is going to close out and win this?
I mean, I definitely do not want to see the EU team winning on EU connection, just because I want to see some variety going on here. So I will be rooting for Holtows Finest. But again, like you said, Holtows Finest was the winner of last week. So it would be nice to see the winner of the last qualifier. So it would be very interesting to see the winners actually being taken down this early. So I actually missed it.
Not, bro. Holtows Finest is running, I think, what is that, F car?
My baby, the F car?
Nah, it's the AKM. But it's safe. Regardless, it's that long range that you were looking for.
Exactly, that long range. And you know what it is? I think it's because of the structures in the air. I forget what it's called, but I think it's the fact that most of these cash outs are going. There's always going to be one cash out that's going to be floating in the air, essentially. And I think that's the reason why we're seeing both teams pulling out the AKM. Very interesting to see that the AKM is meta over the Scar now. I thought I would never see the day, but the fight has already started. Not much damage happening on both sides, as they can clearly just heal themselves, but green space there still hasn't been healed up. They definitely have to get that going as soon as possible, because he's taking a little bit too much damage, but they're gonna get to cover.
Oh no. Yeah, they're gonna get that rocket down. Just gonna drop a telco as they just started trying to push in to take advantage of all the damage they did on the green space there.
Unfortunately, yeah, I was just about to say that NoName needs to play aggressive, knowing that green space was a little low, but they weren't able to, as that was gonna be a good rocket coming in from Lamp, being able to stop the aggression, as they have the control of height here, and they're looking for the fight. The boa is down, and one of the players is trying to run away, but they're not gonna be able to, as Brendan's gonna be able to get that beautiful pick, and green space trying his best to keep his teammates alive, and Toko being the last person alive, and I don't think we're gonna be able to see much from them, being able to get one pick, but that's just not enough. Just like that, Holtows Finest gonna be able to win the very first fight. Exactly what you want to see if you're rooting for this team. And it looks like they're more than likely definitely going to be taking this to A as well. So we're going to have a very classic setup. I'm imagining they're going to be destroying the zip lines. They're going to set up C4s to bring it down. And it looks like they're going to be playing ultimate height here on Church. And I'm a big fan of this, because they can always zip line or jump pad back if they need to.
But can we talk about it, bro? Is the model 1887 a shotgun or a sniper? You was telling me.
It's a sniper. It's a sniper. Come on.
Bro, I'm just watching. I think it was a telco, right? Or no, it was Noah just running in the hallway, and all of a sudden he gets hit once from ultimate height, and his health just goes down to 50%, bro. Like, what are we doing here? I get it. I get it's a slug shotgun, so it can have range, bro. But like, come on now.
So what I'm hearing is that the model definitely needs a nerf.
I think it needs a
nerf. You think? No, definitely needs a nerf. And as we're saying this, NoName are gonna try to take advantage of the map, and that's gonna be a good first pick. Nox being able to get that pick, but it looks like they're gonna be alone. Lamp also being very low, but they're still gonna be playing very aggressive, because they managed to get their team up. Just like that, I do believe it's a 3v1 situation here.
Oh no, it's actually a teamwork.
Oh, it's a teamwork. I missed that. That's totally on me. And that teamwork is going to be very, very well. And once again, they're going to be playing on top of Church. And one of the main reasons why I really love this team playing Church is because they can see exactly where NoName is coming from. And they can get the damage in before they even get the chance to go into the cash out. So playing Ultimate Height is definitely playing in their favor. But it looks like NoName actually spawned in a location where Holtows Finest weren't ready for. But they're going to be playing very aggressive. There's about 5-6 seconds left before they can steal this. And Lamp doing a good job of doing a lot of damage. But the hook is going to come into play. Not going to be doing a lot. And no matter what happens in this fight, Holtows Finest already won the cash out.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Robin over here just putting a little trap set up on that. On that trophy right there. I gotta say, it's not looking good for NoName here in map number 3. Like, one of the greatest things that they had going for them in map number 1 was the fact that they were playing together here. They weren't necessarily isolating, but they were also focusing the same people in the team fight. And it just seems like all of that went out the window like halfway through map number 2. So if they can get back to just playing together, focusing on the same target, and just the basics of team fights, they'll do good. It's just they're always split up, and it's really, really punishing them, especially since you have to play around your heavy. And it doesn't help that on this map, you're not running a mesh shield, which is really, really nice to have, especially as you're playing range. It allows you to take space and alongside that bubble that you can throw down.
Yeah, I was about to comment on that as well. Not having that mesh shield definitely is not helping them out right now. That hook not being able to be very successful right now. Maybe in the future we can see some real nice hook plays, but as of right now, it's definitely not working out for them. But you know what, they can change, so they have to stick with this. And as they're waiting right now, and they definitely don't have any sort of advantage right now, as they're all just stuck inside the building right now. They're going to be making for a play now. Here comes the jump pad. They know exactly where all three other players are. The shotgun trying to do damage, but not much damage is coming into fruition. As we're going to see Lamp here getting that shot. Getting that RPG ready. Waiting for his opportunity. Waiting for the jump pad, but they're not necessarily doing much. Vault still hasn't been touched right now, so they're just fighting for that vault control.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen this many teams fight this long over a vault, and not only fight over a vault. It takes so long to take a fight when the vault has been inserted into the cash out. We have Brindy and Holtows Finest ziplining in, getting ready to take this fight. They say we have the advantage now. Now is my time, as they are going to go ahead and push in. Telco and NoName are just playing close together now. They're playing around their bubble. They kind of have to now, since remember, they don't have the mesh shield, so they literally have no option but to play inside their bubble as they have it. We have Lamp and Holtows Finest just maintaining higher ground. NoName trying to jump up, hitting a huge rocket. Everyone down. 50% HP. Brendy goes down in green space. Going down next here. He's trying to stay alive. He's not going to do it. It's all up to Lamp, as he's just gonna go ahead and hide, but he's going to get ahead and get chased down as well. Telco missing his grappling hook, but it doesn't matter. Lamp's going down here in his team fight, and that's exactly what we were looking for in these team fights.
Yes, NoName finally being able to win a team fight this map, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. I was just about to point out that this team, because they don't have that mesh shield, they only have a bubble, so they kind of have to work around those cooldowns. And for a second there, I thought that we were going to lose because the bubble was on cooldown, but it did not matter. They managed to find the picks, they managed to find the positioning, and they managed to win in the fight. And just like that, they're going to be starting to cash out. And this is a very, very spicy one as well, because they could just sit in ultimate height here and they could destroy all the zip lines. So they're definitely going to have, again, kind of similar to what Holtows Finest did on top of the church. They're going to be able to see exactly where these teams are coming from, and they're going to be able to do a lot of damage before they're even able to touch the cash out. And they spawn across the map as well, and that's going to be a very good sign for NoName, as time is just ticking.
Yeah, we just see them here just having fun as they do their rotate, throwing around barrels, you know, just making things blow up. This is gonna be a very, like you said, it's gonna be very interesting. He has suspended structures here, so it's gonna impact how B is gonna be played. I thought B was gonna be in the structure itself, but no, it went ahead and spawned on top of, I want to say, I don't know, what is that called? We call it a platform. What do you call it? Raising the I have no idea what we call this thing.
We could just call it platform together, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh. But that platform is going to be taken down, and they're trying to look for a position here, but both teams now on a different platform, but a lot of damage being done. Quickly going to be able to regenerate though, but that's going to be enough damage for a Toko to come out here and looking for a spot to use this bubble, and they definitely have this height advantage again. This is going to be the last fight here. Whoever wins this is going to win this cash out, and they have to play this right, but Rubinsky fell off the platform, and that's going to be it. That is going to be it.
Rubinsky literally just had to play his life there. If he lives there, he has a chance to cancel this cash out, but because he decided to go back in there, take the fight, even potentially go for a res, like even just waiting half a second longer there, waiting for them to jump down to go for a steal would have been a lot better than jumping into a full team of 3. But we're going to have Holtows Finest closing out the series, going on to the grand final here in the Masters Series. NoName, don't worry, your journey is not over quite yet. You do have another match coming up here against First.
Yes, and you know what? NoName still has a chance, but they have a tough opponent ahead of them. And I mean, I could be wrong here, but do you think NoName, do you think going up against Birds, do you think they have a higher chance of winning this? Or is Birds that really strong powerhouse team that we might have another NA versus NA again? Or what are you thinking here?
I mean, honestly, in my eyes, I think NoName's been playing really, really well. They've been playing really strong. They showed that they have what it takes to beat champions. It's just a matter of them playing together here. Like a lot of those team fights you saw them win, especially there towards the end, minus that last team fight that we saw, it really just came down to whoever played together. And they unfortunately, like, they weren't covering all their angles. They played too passive. Like, it's just like, I like to say this. And when it comes to FPS games, it comes down to whoever takes the initiative. If you sit there And you can sit there and still take initiative by having your abilities do the damage for you. But if you just sit there and do nothing, like sort of what they did there at the end, it's not going to look good.
Definitely not. And I mean, it looked like they had the advantage, but again, unfortunately, Robinski falling off. And I think you brought up a good point. He had the option to kind of just play a little more passive, but I think you're right. If he would have just waited a couple of seconds and waited for the enemy team to maybe go for the cash out, then maybe he could have gone for jumping up the platform. Maybe got into rest right after that, or maybe getting a 1v1, winning that 1v1, getting the rest and making it a 2v2. Maybe he would have had a better chance than going straight up for a 1v3 because that looked a little rough. But it's okay because their fight is not over. They can still make a comeback. Theoretically, they can still win this whole tournament.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and see our lower bracket final coming up here next. Here's gonna be Holtows finest. No, I'm sorry, I got the names wrong already. Dang it! It's going to be Bert's going against NoName. It's going to be an action-packed game. We hope to see you back here in 5 minutes.